Brian Christgau. Your book, Six Gun Gorilla, is excellent. Six Gun Gorilla, awesome. Awesome comic book.
We've all heard the stories. We've all heard the legends. Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Billy the Kid. But there's a secret history to the Old West. One that seems too strange to be true, but, well, we all know what they say about the truth. Very big ape, very big guns, blowing very big holes, very bad people. I think the world is finally ready to hear the story of the strangest, the most startling Western hero of them all. Six Gun Gorilla, Long Days of Vengeance.
Well, all right.
Yes, welcome to Creating Comicsgate Live. I'm your host, Raten Glory, and I am joined today by the creator and writer of Six Gun Gorilla, Brian Christgau.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Dude, I appreciate you being here. Now, did I pronounce your name right?
I
Christgau?
Yes, wow. You got it on the first try. I'm kind of astounded.
Okay. Okay.
It's a very rare name.
It's one of those names where I'm not quite sure, and I'm assuming that it's no relation to Christgau.
No, that's what kids used to call me in grade school.
I mean, and it's like I
That's
can't help it.
Yeah.
I'm like Christgau, maybe with the right accent from some certain parts of the country. Give me some Christgau.
Well,
might work.
Yeah, I wish people had a cooler association, like Count of Monte Cristo, that kind of a thing. But I didn't get that lucky.
Well, dude, you gotta, it's the age of the internet. You got to embrace these things.
Oh, without a doubt. Dude,
you got to have fun with that.
You got to embrace seriously. Like, who are the most miserable motherfuckers on the planet? It's people who can't laugh at themselves. It's people that take themselves seriously, take life seriously, take love seriously, take your work seriously, your family seriously, but don't take yourself seriously, for fuck's sake.
Dude, yeah, it's really a prerequisite for succeeding in Comicsgate. Is you just can't, if you're not able, there's kind of I wouldn't necessarily call it a hazing per se, but maybe it's a little like that.
Friendly ball breaking.
Yeah, and it's like
nobody's above having their balls busted.
If you can't do it, if you can't take that, it's almost like a screening process. If you're gonna get your feels hurt that easily, then you probably shouldn't have jumped on this train to begin with.
Absolutely. Those guys from War Campaign, they could put rainbow dildos on my head all they want. I think that shit's funny. So, to me, this is the rule. If you're going to burn me, even if you're going to outright diss me, you have to come funny. It has to be something funny. If it's not funny, then I'm like, oh, you know what? Go back to the laboratory and try again. If it's funny, I'm going to fucking laugh. I'm going to find that shit hilarious.
Yeah, dude. It's just part of it. And, the thing with War Campaign is you know, even people that are comics gay, I think there's kind of like a hesitate, like if you're gonna like follow like Roe and repost their tweets and stuff, I think there's still kind of a, wow, this could be dangerous. And it's, the thing is, I can find nothing with War Campaign except they are promoting the comic books. They're entertaining people at a really high level, and they're selling independent creators books.
They are.
They move the needle. Those guys, when you go on War Campaign, that needle gets moved.
I wouldn't know. Those guys don't like me for some reason, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's because Roe started talking about the comic, and I was like afterwards, I was like watching the video and the time, and I compared it to like the backers I was getting, and he was like, I don't know, man, this looks like a furry book. Pow! That
furry book.
Yeah, the backers just disappeared in an instant. So F you, Roe.
That's insane, dude.
Well, look, no, I know he didn't mean anything by it. Those guys are ball breakers. They could take having their balls broken.
Sure.
But I think at first they thought I was a spy. They thought I was gay ops. And so, yes, I'm telling you, those guys don't like me for some reason. I don't know.
Had you ever considered
afraid of me?
Did you ever consider like full on just getting a gorilla suit to do like go YouTube and just gorilla suit that shit?
I have. I really do need a gorilla suit for the conventions too. You know?
Yeah.
Although I'm afraid if I give him guns, like a cop's going to come in and just like,
dude, your title, especially the latest campaign, anytime I try to do gun down in any like YouTube context or anything, it's like YouTube has rejected your comment. I'm like,
oh, because
it's a title to a comic book. This algorithm has no, people think like AI is impressive or something. I'm like, this it's not. AI has no concept of any context at all. It's stupid as a fucking brick.
It is. It's like a really dumb dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
it's terrible. You know, even in like the chat sometimes, if I'm like, oh, like, you know, somebody asks me a question, like, oh, hey, you got a new book coming out, 6-gun gorilla, and it won't go through because it won't go through super chats, right? So I have to put like a little asterisk where the U is.
Yep. I know. I'm like, I tried to, just in this stream, I tried to put the full, like, I tried to say, grab the latest installment of the gun-toting gorilla. And it's like, YouTube rejected your comment. I'm like, so you can't say gun-toting.
No, because it has the G word in it. Look, we all knew this was going to happen right around election season. This is an election year. We knew that censorship across the board, mainstream media, they were going to clamp the fuck down. And, you know, they're not going to do it in a nuanced way. You know, AI doesn't understand nuance. It's incapable of that almost by its definition. Right.
Yeah.
But oh, Felix Haas says that my voice sounds a little like Chris Elliott. I consider that an honor, sir. I consider that an honor.
That's pretty awesome.
Love me some Chris Elliott.
Shout out to Felix. Ink Spots, dude. It's good to see you, man.
Seriously,
really,
brother.
Appreciate you being here. If you guys can like and share, that'd be great. You know, I just want to move. What I don't understand about 6-gun gorilla is why the hell isn't it a 30K CG project? Like from the previous campaign, the moment I came in contact with it, I'm like, this is so badass. I love this shit.
Thank you.
And it just like, I don't know, you know, it's not to say I think your previous campaign did like 8K.
Yeah, which was okay. But I always thought, here's the thing. The first thing you have to have for a successful Indiegogo campaign have a damn good product. Make sure that your product is good. I've been really, really lucky because as an artist, when you put something out into the world, you can't really judge it for yourself. You know, I made the comic book that I wanted to read, but I didn't know if other people were going to vibe with that or not, because you never do. And I have been so lucky. I have been so blessed that people love this comic. They genuinely love it. And they all tell me the same thing. They're like, it's not, as a matter of fact, Ethan said, it's not what you think it is. And I was on Mandy's show the other night, and she was like, this wasn't what I thought it would be. It's not just a big, dumb pulp adventure with like a gorilla blowing holes in people with like pistols the size of howitzer cannons. I mean, make no mistake, if that's what you're coming for, you're going to get that, and you're going to get that in abundance. But hopefully you're going to get a little bit more involved with the characters than you expected. And hopefully I'm going to fuck with you and fuck with your emotions and put you through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. Yeah. Where you're going to get like yanked maybe in directions that you didn't expect.
I knew just from watching you on live stream, which you're getting pretty good, man.
Thanks, brother.
You're engaging. You're doing really well. Like the last couple streams you've been on, I'd say you've turned up the volume on entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
But it's so obvious that you have this deep, rich appreciation for film, for comics, and you're coming out. This is an intelligent book. I know it is. You're an intelligent writer and creator, and I know that.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, it's going to have that surface, that action stuff, but obviously, I think it's clear that you're going to bring to the table a deeper philosophical, because that's who you are.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. This was a labor of love. I always feel that if you're going to do something, a project that's maybe going to last you a year, 2 years, 3 years, or maybe even more, this is year 5 for me, you better be passionate about it. Because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be able to get anybody else passionate about it. And I'm lucky that this is a collaborative medium, because that way I can hype the art, without like, because humility is very important to me. Pride is a major downfall for so many people. You've seen it happen. People get smoke blown up their asses, and they start to get high off the smell of their own farts. I don't want to get anywhere even near that neighborhood, right? So, I always tell people, well, the writing sucks, but the art is fucking killer.
I was hoping beyond hope that my gorilla book would get here before this stream.
Oh, it didn't?
It did not get here yet. I'm sorry. I'm still
it's
waiting for it. I cannot wait. I can't wait to read that. I was hoping that I would have a better context to talk to you, to engage you, having read at least some of this saga. But
I should have shot you the what I should have done. I should have shot you the digital file, the PDF of the first 6 issues, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't.
Hey, whatever, man. The thing is like, Cecil, quite some time ago, Cecil endorsed Six Gun Gorilla. He got some books from you. It was quite a ways back.
Yeah, it was.
And the thing about Cecil is, he plays a bumbling drunkard on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, Cecil he has impeccable taste. He's intelligent as fuck. And when that man says something is good, you damn well know it's good.
He is also a man of integrity. And so is Roe. I have to admit. Like when I sent him a PDF file of the book, it was free. It's like, hey, review copy. And even though he clearly didn't like it and thought it was like a furry book and all that stuff, he still paid for it, which he didn't have to. So I thought that showed real integrity. Cecil was telling me like I'm gonna have you on. He was about to promise, and because he was like, I'm gonna do this one guy next, and then you're next. And he was about to promise, but he stopped himself. And said, but I'm really gonna try to get you on. And when you meet people who are very reluctant to make a promise, that is always a very good sign. That's always a sign of integrity, because he didn't want to make a promise he couldn't keep.
Right.
So
dude,
he still says he's gonna have me on. Ethan still says he's gonna have me on. I'm still waiting, boys.
I think I have this feeling. I have this feeling with this campaign. Look, you've proven yourself. You've delivered on your books. You've delivered your promises. You're a consistent presence in the CG landscape. I have this feeling that there's going to be a breaking point on this campaign where it's just gonna go wild. I really think that.
I hope.
I
Cecil,
really do.
Ethan, please. I think also part of it is the fact that it's a Western, and not everybody likes Westerns. And this is a book where I'm like, I don't think it's necessarily going to be for everybody. Mm-hmm. But it is also a Western with a fucking gorilla with giant guns. Mandy, for instance, whom I love to bits, she read her copy and she said, I really don't like Westerns, but I love this. I think that everybody who reads it actually likes it.
Yeah. And it's a good time. I can tell. I can't. I don't know, man. How the fuck do you not like Westerns?
They're out of fashion. PC people, SJWs really don't like them.
Because that's a positive.
I know
advertisement.
I know. And then I guess it's because they're considered old fashioned, or people want everything that's new.
No,
and it's like you could still make Westerns. Westerns are still being made. You just have to come with a fresh approach. They're period.
Hell
pieces.
Yeah, like
the Italian Westerns, man.
What was the dude? We're gonna get into that, the Italian Western thing. But what was it? Bone Tomahawk. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's a modern West. That's a complete modern take on a Western vibe. So fun.
Yes,
it's absolutely brilliant, and you can't. Completely unexpected. It goes in directions you can't fathom, and it's like the Western has so much to explore within its.
Oh,
there's just so much there, dude, and it's clear.
It's bottomless.
Yeah, I am the hip hop-opotamus. My rhymes are bottomless.
Well, it's because the Western is so simple. And it's, when we're talking about the Western, we're not necessarily talking about the authentic Old West. The first thing you do when you start doing research about the Old West, because I'm like Chuck Dixon, I am a history fiend, and one of my favorite parts of working on a project, doing the research. I know I'm not going to use 99% of it, right? But that 1% is going to make the book that much better. And also, I just like learning about this stuff.
Yeah.
When you start doing research into the Old West, the first thing you discover within 5, 10, 15 minutes is that you're dealing with a myth. You're dealing with a legend. So many of these people that the really iconic Western heroes, people like Wyatt Earp, people like Doc Holliday, these were people that were being mythologized in their own lifetimes.
Yeah.
There were dime novels about them while they were alive. So
insane.
It's insane. So much of what we think of as history is really just hearsay. And, that's where archaeology comes in, of course. And, but there's not a lot it's not very easy to verify a lot of this stuff. And so, of course, that leaves this big void, which is a perfect place for writers to fill. And they've been doing it, well, ever since the Old West actually existed. The Westerns were amongst the very first films that were being made. You know, the Great Train Robbery, that's the first movie. And, you know, when I was a kid growing up in the 70s, I could still see like the tail end of like the era, you know, just through syndicated TV, when every show on TV was a Western and almost every movie was a Western, because it's like, well, they had all this stuff. They had like the Japanese did the same thing with the samurai movies. Even the low budget ones look awesome because they're using like these incredible sets and everything and costumes that already existed from like the A productions. And then of course, you know, you get into the John Ford movies. I love those to bits. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Searchers. And then of course George Stevens' Shane. That might be the definitive American Western. The Howard Hawks movies. Oh, see, shit, you got me started.
Dude, look
man.
at you. See, this is, and it's like I don't have the depth of knowledge you have on this stuff, but it's like it's so apparent that your passion runs really deep here, and what you're doing with Six Gun Gorilla is taking all of that knowledge and passion that you have for this stuff and putting your own vision on it, creating something quite special. Now I've seen, like, in the trailer and stuff, it suggests that this is like an old classic being brought to life.
Yes.
Is that?
I thought about making
this a concept that happened before?
Oh yes. This is a public domain character. I've thought about changing the name. I still might for like one run, just to officially make it my own IP. 1939. Wizard magazine, which was a pulp periodical that was sold in England, aimed at young boys. There was a story in there called Six Gun Gorilla, and nobody knows who wrote it because there's no author. There's no byline.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so what happened was, it ended up. It would have been totally forgotten, except there was a guy who wrote a book about the pulp literature for boys from like the 1930s and the 40s. And he put in that title, Six Gun Gorilla, and it became something of a legend because everybody who saw it went, what? Like, first you think it's like, that's ridiculous. And then you think, you know what? That also could be freaking awesome.
Right.
That's the reaction that most people have. I was online one day and I saw the title, and because it was like a website about Golden Age superheroes, because I'm a big pulp guy. I love Burroughs and Robert E. Howard and all those cats. That's my bread and butter. I just, I love that's my comfort food. That's where I go when I really need to relax.
Right.
And I heard that, I saw that title and it set off a firecracker in my head. And so I jumped in my car and I was going to go to the local shopping mall, because I live in northern New York, and that's the shopping mall capital of the world. Ain't anything else out here, brother. So there was a place that had like a Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips, like the last one in the world, I think. So decided to go there. And as I was driving there, I was listening to the Hawk the Slayer soundtrack. Which is like a really cheesy but wonderful, like British sword and sorcery movie from the 80s. And by the time I parked my car, I had the entire saga. And that never happened to me before. That never, ever, ever happened to me before, where suddenly it was like, boom, I had like the whole story just emerged like in whole. Because I tried to find the original story, and it wasn't available because it had never been reprinted. And the only 2 copies left in existence are under lock and key in a museum in London. So
Shit.
so I was working completely. Everything in this is mine except for the title.
Right.
And
I loved it. I mean, the title's absolutely brilliant. I love it.
I mean,
it's almost like, it's one of those titles where the pitch is in the title.
Yes.
Like
yes.
what?
Yes.
I don't need to say anything. It's
I know.
Six
What's
Gun
not to
Gorilla.
understand?
What the fuck?
I know.
Why just buy the book?
And
it's a gorilla with guns.
I know.
It's a spaghetti western with a gorilla toting weapons. Like what? I don't understand what just fucking buy the book. Shut the fuck up.
Thanks, man.
Like, dude.
Oh yeah. Look, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with apes, and I loved me some King Kong, and I loved me some Mighty Joe Young. And so this isn't something I intended as a writer, but I found what I'm really good at doing is hybrids, like taking a wacky premise and then trying to tell a serious story with it.
Yeah.
Because then what you're doing is you're catching your audience totally off guard because they're going to go in with their guard down.
Yeah.
And then you can really hit them with something that they hadn't expected. And so, like I said, I tried to make this an emotional roller coaster. It's played straight. It's not making fun at yourself. It's not winking at you. And there's some humor in it, but never to the point of making you cringe or groan.
Right.
Yeah. So
does this? I mean, I haven't read the book yet. Does the gorilla have dialogue?
No, he's a gorilla, so he doesn't.
I mean, I assumed
he's a gorilla, so he doesn't talk. He's a gorilla.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just everyone responding to, and what motivates this gorilla? What is his?
Well, what motivates him is ultimately rage and trauma, because as a young gorilla, the story opens. It's in the Congo in like the 1840s, late 1840s, and there's a great white hunter type, an Alan Quatermain type named Lord Wolsey, and he's out to bag himself some big game, and he comes across a troop of gorillas. The silverback charges. He blasts him with his elephant gun and just wipes out all of the gorillas, while the native guides are chopping up the gorillas for bushmeat and for trophies. They turn over a dead female and they find a young male infant clinging to her breast.
Yeah.
And so Lord Wolsey is like, oh, hell yeah, I could get some money for this thing. So he puts it in a cage, he throws it on a boat, but on that boat there happens to be a con man, carnival barker, circus type named Professor Malloy. Professor or nothing, right? He's a con man. And he's there with his 6-year-old daughter, Abigail, and she sees this little ape in a cage, looking miserable, and so she tugs on his coat and says, Daddy, can I have him? And he can't say no to his little girl. So he cheats in a card game and wins the gorilla, brings him home, raises him as one of the family alongside Abigail, who's basically his big sister. But having to be in a circus family, well, you have to learn a trade, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to be a lion tamer? Are you going to fly around on the trapeze? None of these things would seem like good options, but there is somebody in the circus. This is, this is going to be told in flashback eventually, who teaches him to be a quick shot artist. Where guys, they throw plates in the air and boom, 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 boom. But being that he's a gorilla, they have to have special extra large guns manufactured for him. that are not only big enough for his hand, but, well, why not just turn them into the equivalent of like a handheld howitzer cannons? Yes. And so, they're launching beer kegs into the air, boom, boom, boom. Who would not want to watch that? And so the circus is doing great. He's their star attraction. And then in strides trouble in the form of Giuliano Schmidt, who is a Italian immigrant spy who works for the Union. He's got a group of killers coming after him because he's learned something he's not supposed to know, and he gets wounded in a fight with those bad guys. Ends up being nursed back to health by the Professor Malloy, Abigail, the circus folks. Leaves the bad guys following his trail. See that you discovered that the circus folks have been taking care of him. Who knows what they heard? So they do something really, really horrendous. They basically wipe out his entire circus family and burn the big top to the ground while he's in a cage, forced to watch. Completely helpless.
Have you told this story in the comic yet?
Oh yeah, it's in the first 3 issues.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the concept. I'm not dropping any major spoilers here. I don't think.
No, I'm just,
Yeah. I
wish I knew it all. I wish I had it all.
It's coming in, man. Dude, it's in the mail. There is a Gemini mailer going across the country right now, headed in your direction. I promise you that.
Dude, I can't wait, dude. I love this book. I love this concept. I think I don't know.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
just waiting.
Thanks.
I can't wait for it to be just explode. I know it's going to happen.
I hope so.
Dude, it absolutely.
Now imagine that with a pair of like giant 6 guns.
Exactly.
And pissed off.
Exactly. Dude, this is like the biggest. It's like the biggest gorilla in India or something.
Well, look, it's okay. This is a Western. So you're gonna get your gunfights, but with a gorilla. You're gonna get your saloon brawl with a gorilla. You're gonna get your canyon chase with a gorilla. And as the cover of the 7th issue, the Big Gun Down shows, he's gonna be rocking a Gatling gun in that issue because he has a lot of people to kill in that issue. And 6 guns just won't get the job done. So everybody seems to get it. Everybody seems to love it. I was really hoping. I'm still kind of hoping that this could be one of Comicsgate's flagship books.
Yes,
because I do think it's. It feels weird saying this, but I can only say it because that's what everybody else is saying. I do think it's good enough, and a lot of that,
of course it is.
Has to go to the incredibly talented artists that I was just super fortunate to work with.
Yeah. If you could shout out the artist for the book.
Absolutely. One sec. Right here, we're looking at a cover from my man Wes Huffer.
Yes.
He did the covers for the first 3 issues. As you can tell, his work is spectacular, especially when it's colored this by a guy named Derek Dow, who does Old West paintings. And
good, man. I can't get enough of this stuff.
Okay.
It's so damn good.
What
about this piece?
He did this one too. And you'll notice
so good.
This would be a scene from the extended arc. Like the first arc is going to be 10 issues, and that's 6 Gun Gorilla, Long Days of Vengeance. And somewhere down the line, if I could make this a regular series, he's going to be a bounty hunter. So this would be a scene where he's doing some bounty hunting. You could see him picking up the outlaw's gun with his foot.
It's so badass, dude. Well,
Wes killed it, man.
Because it gives you that perspective of just how much larger his guns are.
Yeah,
the whole thing is just brilliant. It's so good.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, and like I said, it's you know, as much as people have been praising my writing, it would be nothing without the art. You know,
Sure.
the artist is always, even though this is like a writer-driven medium right now, whereas it used to be an artist-driven medium, the artist is always going to be at least 55%, you know, more important.
Yeah.
Because if you're walking by the book and you see like a badass cover like this, and anybody that could walk past this cover and not at least pick it up, I don't understand that cat. I don't understand that cat.
And I don't, you know, I think that's I honestly think that's one of the mistakes of the industry currently is trying to make the writer the rock star. And
yes,
the artists have always, they are the rock stars.
I agree.
Of the comic book medium. And the reason mainstream doesn't want that is because they're scared. They're scared that their artists, if they allow them to be rock stars, they're going to wake up one day and go, what am I doing? Slaving away for this corporation when I could just go be a rock star on my own. And
exactly.
Like, so they're trying to play down the artist rock star thing and then bolster up the writers, but it's like, come on, dude. I'm a writer. I'm a writer, and it's like it takes for an artist to produce one page of comic book is this insane amount of time and dedication it takes. A writer can write something in 30 minutes that will take the artist
days
to produce, right? And it's like, just let them be. They deserve and should be the rock stars.
I agree.
It's fine.
I agree, but I also think that there's a financial reason for that. It's kind of like, remember, it all started when they got rid of supermodels. Because one of them, I think Linda Evangelista, said, I won't even bother getting out of the bed for anything less than like $100,000. And people were pissed off at that. And so what did they do? They got rid of supermodels. Because it's like, wait a second, why am I paying this bitch like $500,000 when I could be paying a chick that looks every bit as gorgeous as she does, like a fraction of the price, because nobody even knows who she is. Right. And right now, you saw that with the writer's strike too. With the writer's strike in Hollywood, they were like, okay, let's like, why do we need writers? Let's just do reality TV. And then, of course, they need writers for reality TV, but then they don't have to pay them as writers because their job is top secret. And what was that from? With the bar, I couldn't tell.
Dude. That was El Topo.
Oh, I love El Topo.
El Topo scene. Dude.
Yeah, if you've never okay, you've heard of spaghetti westerns. El Topo is a peyote western.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Incredible film.
Let me drop this real quick. Dude.
Yeah, by the great Alejandro Jodorowsky, who's a comics legend as well. Wrote so many of those wonderful French science fiction comics, like the Inkle and the Meta Barons and all that stuff. Yeah, that was him.
It was it's one of those things you come in contact with. And it was just like, well, wow, how did he do this? How did he make this? And it became this thing. It took off. It got legs, and it's like
a classic.
I feel like you tap into the energies of these things with Six Gun Gorilla. I think that you intentionally tapped into those energies.
Yeah, well, it's stuff that I'm passionate about. You know, I'm passionate. I'm passionate about art's ability to to stimulate your mind, to entertain you, to move you. I also want to write comics that, people aren't just going to like read it in 20 minutes and, throw it away and forget it. I want this to be a book that you're going to put on your shelf and that every now and then you're going to take it down and read it again.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm trying to do anyway. And I think that, I think all of us should aspire to that, to create something that isn't disposable.
Yeah. So are you familiar with the CG Rorschach test?
I am, but can I really quickly just address what Inkspot said? McClintock,
yes,
because John Wayne spanks sweet Maureen O'Hara's ass. Oh my! You're talking about one of my childhood.
That one.
One of my childhood crushes, brother. Woo! She was hot. Caliente, man. Caliente.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
But yes, you want me to
that chat, dude. It's one of those, you start doing the YouTube thing, and it's like chat engagement is so important, and I'm trying to get better at it. I kind of suck. I'm sorry, chat. Hail,
dude.
I appreciate all of you. Make no mistake about it. I appreciate every single one of you who are here.
Likewise.
I'm not always the best. Sometimes I rely on my guest to.
That's okay.
To shout some shit out.
Dude, that's okay. It's super awkward when you get started. It gets easier. Big, colossal. Drinking helps too, amongst other. Yeah, and let me. I don't want to say something I might regret.
That's what we're here for. That's what we want.
Yeah,
we want you to say shit you might regret. That's why we're here.
Certain botanicals. But big shout out to my man Drew, because by having me on as his co-host, he has given me my my sea legs, so to speak, when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah,
and
dude, it takes practice.
It takes practice.
Do it.
You just have to do it.
Do it. Keep doing it. I had a really good time on. I went on Inkspot's channel, I don't know, a couple nights ago, and we got into a rhythm. It was really fun. Inkspots he's crazy, dude. Inkspots is fun. He's a great artist in his own right.
I'll be on his channel anytime, man.
Dude, and he's a blast. He has a unique mind, very, a little demented, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And,
we're talking CG here, so.
Yeah. So, I definitely want to drop into the CG Rorschach test with you.
I'm familiar with it.
Yes.
We can give it a shot.
I'm experimenting with, and it's led to some pretty fun stuff. So let's kick this off. And it's whatever you feel, whatever the image invokes from you. We want to kind of get a sense of who you are through these.
I just want to apologize right now because I have a mouth full of microwave burrito. Because while you were playing that, I'm an opportunistic predator. I was just like, nom, nom, nom.
Dude, you gotta take those opportunities. When there's a long enough break, I'm gonna piss into an empty bottle.
Why not get a catheter?
You got
or a chamber pot.
I'm not there yet, but maybe.
And ladies, there's this thing that's called the sheenus.
Sheenus.
A sheenus, yeah. So it's an adapter, so women can pee standing up, and gals can write their names in the snow.
I like that. Sounds like I have some research to do after the stream.
Okay, right. Rorschach test. Bring that shit on.
Here we do it. Here we go. Number 1.
Looks like an angel to me. A lot like an angel. Well, first of all, I'm seeing one. Actually, those look like multiple wings, because I was thinking the wings are attached, and it looks like a seraphim, actually, with the feet at the bottom, and there doesn't seem to be much of a head, but you can even see the hands.
Yeah.
Reaching up, and it even has like a belt and a belt buckle. And the line down the center looks a little bit like a robe. Yeah, I would say a seraphim.
All right, like it. Number 2.
Looks like the Joker to me. You see a bow tie. Oh, wait a second! I see something else too, though. I see two waiters with pitchers of water, like they're having a conversation.
Ah.
And there's like can dancers in the background. Or maybe actually, you know what? I want to say that those are actually bartenders in an Old West saloon, and they're emptying the spittoons.
Yes.
And the can girls are dancing in the background.
All right. Dig it.
Interesting.
It's a little tougher.
Well, you know, at first it looks like a two-faced Janus kind of a thing, but with the Rorschach character. But then I'm seeing something in the middle, of course. Huh. Oh, that is a tough one. It's very abstract.
Yes, it is.
Huh. I don't know. It just looks like an abstract painting to me.
Perplexing.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on.
Oh God, I have a filthy mind.
That's where you have to drop it.
It looks like a Vagina to me, and I say Vagina because I was watching a YouTube video. I think it was like Vice maybe, and they were talking about the Fleshlight, which is a masturbation toy, and a male masturbation toy. And the woman whose lovely lady parts they used for it. And she said, when I was growing up, I asked my father what this was. And he told me my vagina was a gift from God. And I was like, oh my God, like you were so hot. You're vagina? Like, oh, I'm sure your boyfriend agrees. Yeah. So yeah. It looks like a vulva to me. Right. With pubic hair. And she, you know, and I'm not like anti-pubic hair. I don't understand why that's disappearing. I like that triangle, but you know, she needs to like trim the edges a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't shave the whole thing off. That's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, ladies. Oh, but maintain. Yeah,
you're asking for a little maintenance. I don't.
Yes,
think that's too
much. If I'm with the lady, I do a little manscaping. You know, think about this, ladies. Ease of access.
Yes. All right.
Oh, this looks like a surrealist painting. In the center, it looks like a table made out of a human pelvis, a pelvic bone. And there are these, once again, they look like waiters to me. And standing on their heads as they're facing each other are two dwarves having a conversation.
I can't wait to see what the supercomputer kicks out on this one. All right. We're gonna do one more.
All right.
We're gonna do one more.
Oh, badass. It looks like a coat of arms. Oh, it looks a little bit like an owl, too.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot to take in with this one. But just like, you know, the whole point of the Rorschach test is like, what do we immediately see? But then also you look a little bit closer, and then you start to see something else. But yeah, looks like an owl.
Okay. Well, let's.
Oh, wait a second. It looks a little bit like right on the top on the forehead. I'm getting like a little bit of like a black bolt, like Inhumans kind of an antenna thing going there. An owl with a tiara. That's my final answer.
Owl with a tiara. All right. Well, we're gonna feed this in. See what the results are.
All right, brother. Nice,
dude.
Nice.
So
Hell yeah.
obviously, you've got the spaghetti stare.
I
There's no doubt about it. The master computer has come back.
I love how that opened with a scene from Keoma, which is like one of the last spaghetti westerns to be shot. But yeah, no, it's here's the thing. I do have an encyclopedic knowledge of movies, certain kinds of movies, cult movies, spaghetti westerns, of course, horror films. But it's not something I would brag or boast about, because it's not something I did on purpose. It's something that happened to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe you should brag and boast about it.
Well, like Drew always calls me the trivia master, and I'm just like, that's him saying that, not me. But yeah, no, it's whoever did that knows the genre. And then the movie that it jumps to after that is The Great Silence, which is the best non-Sergio Leone Western ever made.
I knew you knew. I just knew that you would know all of those movies.
And the faces.
I grabbed a bunch of stuff. I cut it and edited it all together, and I'm like, he's gonna know every single one of these.
Yeah. And again, the faces, you got Klaus Kinski in there, Mr. Intensity, Jean-Paul Trintignant, also from like the Great Silence, Franco Nero from Keoma, and then of course, Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach and Jean-Maria Volonté and Lee Van Cleef.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I love the effort you put, like when you pronounce things, even when it's like Jodorowsky or like anything, you like really, you try to pronounce everything the way it should be.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you have, that's the level of precision that you go to.
Well, it's out of respect. It's certain languages are harder to pick up than others. I'm terrible at pronouncing French names, for instance. Very good at pronouncing German names, Italian names. Sometimes I'll sit and watch the credits, like to my favorite Italian horror movies or westerns, and I'll be like Giuseppe Colizzi, Luigi Brazzi, and Sergio Leone. And it's once you get the sound of a language, it gets much easier. And I'm Japanese names. I've gotten good at pronouncing those. It's just one of the things. I feel bad for people where they're getting all their entertainment from the United States, and they don't realize that there aren't there's not just a world of art, cinema, music, comics out there, but there are worlds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like read American comics, read Japanese comics, read French comics. Are freaking awesome. We got people in CG, for the CG UK, and now there's also some folks from Australia who are representing. For Oz. Good on them. Good on them, man. It's
dude. Anytime me and my lady are like, we're about to watch a film or something, and it's like, it comes up as Aussie. We're like, oh shit, this could be seriously fucked up. This could be really weird.
Yes.
The Aussies bring the strange, man. They bring the weird.
They do.
They bring some serious, like you just cannot predict.
Weird and wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's not just weird for weirdness' sake. It's like weird, but like in a really good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's like some people, some CG creators, they're not sure if they should send their books overseas. Overseas shipping, of course, is expensive. I charge about $20, and I hate to do that. I really do, but it's otherwise it would be too big of a hit for me. I would be making like no money off those sales whatsoever. But the fact that my book is going to New Zealand, it's going to Australia, it's going to Germany, it's going to Finland, it's going to Japan. That's a wonderful thing, about the internet. It's made the world so much smaller. The artist that I work with, who did all the interiors, Adrian Sibar, amazing talent. He lives in beautiful Buenos Aires, Argentina. And thanks to the internet, we've only met once. We met at the New York Comic Con a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice! You've actually met in person.
Yes, which was wonderful.
That's cool,
and
man.
Yeah, and he of course he's done so well. I love what he's done with the book so much. He extended his hand. I was like, "Fuck a handshake, give me a hug." I'm a hugger. That's one thing people gotta know about me if you're gonna see me at a convention. But yeah, there was it was a New York Comic Con a couple of years ago. It was me, Wes Huffer, the cover artist, and him, all in the same place at the same time, signing books. And we must have moved about, 400 books that day.
Nice.
We were the kings of Independence Alley, and I don't have any problem saying that because it might have had something to do with the fact that we had the only comic book that year that wasn't about zombies.
Oh, dude, the zombie thing. Damn.
And I love zombies. Damn. I love zombies.
I know.
Heavily into zombies when I was a kid, when the only people that were into zombies were total fucking deviants. And now, has
anything been more abused than the zombie genre? It's like, wow, this thing it's out of control.
Well, whoever thought it would go that mainstream? Not I.
No.
When you'd go, you used to be able to count like every zombie movie, and I'm not talking about like voodoo zombies. I'm talking about George Romero's zombies. You could count those all on like one hand easily, and now there's just like a nonstop flood of them. Yeah. And every now and then there's a good one, but you have to. Who can sort through all that crap? Nobody's gonna be able to watch all that stuff. I mean,
there's still incredible stories that could be told within the zombie. Like it can be done.
Because it's a world.
It doesn't matter the context of it. And this is the thing. It's like I hear people say, "Well, all the Batman, all the Superman, all these stories, they've all been told. You can't. No. There's nothing new." And it's like, there's always something new. There's always a unique perspective. Dude, there was something I wanted to talk to you about was Alex Garland.
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy?
Yes.
Are you familiar with this guy?
I am familiar with Alex Garland.
And I'm like, I'm going to bring up his Internet Movie Database page and share it because, like, the thing is, like, I don't. How did you feel about Annihilation?
I didn't see Annihilation. I did not see Annihilation.
You haven't seen Annihilation?
No. Okay. I don't watch a lot of contemporary movies because, unfortunately, most contemporary movies these days are shit. And when it comes to the horror genre, it's the best of times and it's the worst of times.
Oh God, dude, horror? Are you kidding? For horror, I feel like it's the worst of times, man.
Well, it's the best. It's never been more popular.
I'm not enjoying what they're doing with horror at all.
Well, but
here's
here's
the
the
last
thing.
good horror movie. Name one. Hereditary.
Hereditary. Yeah,
absolutely blew my mind.
Stunning.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, that's absolutely a mind blower, without a doubt.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah. So you are every now and then going to get these visionaries. Oh, actually, last great horror film that I've seen is Richard Stanley's Color Out of Space.
Okay, I watched that.
Best. How did you think about it? Give us your opinion.
I enjoyed my time with that film. I think it was really fun. It was cool, but I don't know. It was missing something, man.
It didn't
there was
mess
something
it didn't
not
mess with
right.
you.
There was not. It wasn't quite right to me.
Okay. No. I mean,
I can't put my finger on it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I mean, I was a little nervous watching it because this was going to be like the comeback movie for Richard Stanley, who did Hardware and Dust Devil, and worked on a unfortunately aborted version of The Island of Dr. Moreau. There's a documentary about that called Lost Soul. And I was a little nervous for him because I really thought like we had lost like one of the potentially great horror filmmakers, and I was absolutely blown away by The Color Out of Space. It really, I would go so far as to say it's the best Lovecraft movie ever.
But
and I mean, if you didn't connect with it, you didn't connect with it. That's okay.
No, I loved it, but I didn't. It's like.
You didn't get that sense of cosmic dread?
It just kind of, for me, it just, for all the things it was trying to do, I feel like the ending it just didn't quite get there. It just didn't quite make me, I wish I could put it into words better.
Have you read the original story?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, and look, here's the thing. Film adaptations of fiction do not have to be faithful. They're their own thing. They're their own thing, and you shouldn't have to read the novel or the short story or the play or whatever it is that's being adapted in order to enjoy a film. Otherwise, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. But having said that, and having grown up with Lovecraft and having been a lifelong fan, I just thought that he captured that sense of cosmic dread better than any other filmmaker has had up to this point. I mean, I love the Stuart Gordon Lovecraft movies. You know, Reanimator, From Beyond, Dagon. Those are great, but they're not proper Lovecraft films. And I felt that this was more like a proper Lovecraft film.
I guess that brings me full circle to, like, when you're talking cosmic dread, it brings me full circle to Alex Garland, because I feel like Annihilation did that. A lot of people don't like. I was blown away to find out that people don't like Annihilation.
See, I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list, but you know,
and I'm like, why? How can you not fucking love what was done? It put some of the most original imagery on screen I've ever seen. It took horrific concepts and ideas and made them actually, you were looking at them, it's like, it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful.
Right.
While being horrific at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy, and then, so I was like, I gotta know who this guy is. And I started looking at dude, look at this guy's credit list.
Ex Machina is a great movie.
Ex Machina is it's the greatest, in my opinion, it's the greatest movie about AI, artificial intelligence, ever fucking made.
It's one of them. It's
horrifying.
It's absolutely.
I tell people it's horrifying, and they're like, "What do you mean it wasn't scary at all?" And I'm like, "What? Did you even watch the movie?
I know.
Shit is horrifying.
Totally horrifying. Totally horrifying.
Horrifying. It's so well done.
Yeah.
So well acted.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. That basically
then,
the AI is a sociopath.
Dude,
you know? It
blew my mind.
Yeah. Yep.
I was enthralled every second of that fucking film.
Brilliant.
And then it's like I come to find out he wrote the new Dredd movie.
Screen. Yeah.
Which was fucking
awesome.
I had so much fun watching Dredd. It was brilliant. It was a blast.
Saw it in the theater with the 3D. And, 3D is just a gimmick, let's face it.
Yeah,
but I thought it used that gimmick really, really well. And the reason that it was such a box office failure was because they only released it in 3D. In fact, the original title was Dredd 3D.
So dumb.
So dumb. So dumb.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That was such a good movie. It was so intelligent, so well paced. Everything about it was good. That was a brilliant movie. And most people, it's well received by anyone who loves film.
It found its audience.
You hear people singing its praises all the time.
And
then it's like, this guy, he wrote Sunshine, which may or may not been directed the way he wanted, but Sunshine is a fascinating film.
Yes.
It's fascinating.
Yes, it is. It's I don't think it's a good film, but I think that
he feels the same way about it. But I think it was because it wasn't filmed the way he wanted it. But he was just a writer.
Well, I mean, go back to 28 Days Later. God.
He wrote 28 Days Later.
Holy
what the fuck? He wrote it.
Yes.
So Alex Garland, to me, is basically, he's a modern day, this guy's a genius. He's brilliant. He's writing some of the best stuff in modern day culture that we've come in contact with.
He's on fire. The
guy is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a new series called Devs. It's right here, Devs. Have you engaged this at all?
Not at all. Can I just say a quick shout out to Abel Salazar in the chat? CG Mexico.
See, I haven't even.
Viva El Santo. Viva El Santo. I don't understand why the Mexicans haven't renamed Mexico City Santo City, but that's a discussion for another day.
That's a discussion for another day.
Viva El Santo, by the way.
Yes. I'm just saying, man, this guy is like...
Yeah, he's on fire.
I think he's amazing.
Yeah, he absolutely is. But the thing is that talent can be very unpredictable. You get some filmmakers, you get some writers. It happens, I think, in every medium where, I don't know, they run out of ideas, they start cannibalizing their own work. Stephen King, for example, you look at those early novels, the first 5 novels or so, and they're astounding. Right. They're like classics. And then like almost everything after that, he's cannibalizing his own ideas. He's taking a piece from here and a piece from there. And, Dario Argento was once like the greatest horror film director working in the world. And now he's produced so many crap movies that his bottom shelf is getting much bigger than his top shelf and middle shelf, like put together. So,
right.
You can never tell.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. What's the guy who did La Femme Nikita, Leon the Professional?
Jan de Bont.
No.
La Femme Nikita? Yeah. That was Jan de Bont. No, wait, not Jan de Bont. No. What am I saying? No, Jan de Bont.
No, Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
Like everything he's attached to in the last, it's like embarrassing almost. It's like, what happened? Dude, La Femme Nikita, awesome. Leon the Professional.
I know.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely some of the best fucking shit I've ever seen. And then like all of a sudden he's just, what happened? Do we just get to that point where we have nothing? There's no fuel in the tank?
I think that can happen. I think some people have a lot of stories in them. I think some people don't have a lot of stories in them. You look at, and people will also slow down. You look at David Cronenberg, who was, one of the greatest, one of like the top 3 or 5 filmmakers in the world for the longest time. And now his movies are just okay. And, I don't know. I think at a certain point, maybe people start phoning it in. Maybe they're not as passionate, but they don't know what else to do. So they just keep working. Right. Toby Hooper, that's a guy that was also in that category. It did classics, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which I think is the greatest horror film of the 80s, American horror film of the 80s. Yeah. I think I mentioned Poltergeist. Did all these great films, and then Life Force is another one. Time has been very kind to that picture. And then he starts doing movies like Crocodile. He did a reimagining of the Toolbox Murders, and he's like, "Oh, dude, it hurts to watch."
I don't know.
It's like, dude, just give it in. Just give up at that point. Come hard or go home. John Carpenter, has literally made, I think, 2 really bad movies in his career, and he has a very big middle shelf.
That's debatable,
and a huge top shelf. You know what I mean? Anybody that has at least 3 or 4 classics under their belt,
I have an odd relationship with John Carpenter. Some of the things that people cite as being classic and great, I'm like, what?
All right. Halloween. Oh, wait. Assault on Precinct 13. Halloween. Escape from New York.
Ouch.
Big Trouble.
That's one of them.
What? You don't like Escape from New York?
To me, is like, it is absolute garbage. I hate that film so much. It makes my brain hurt how much I hate that fucking movie.
Okay, somebody put a curse on you and said, you know what?
No,
that MF right there, he's never going to enjoy Escape from New York, and I'm just going to do that as a punishment to him. That's awesome. I love that.
It is not awesome.
But usually the ones that people don't like are vampires, which I think is freaking hilarious. What are the other ones that would be controversial? In the Mouth of Madness, I like a lot. They Live.
In the Mouth of Madness?
Yeah.
Fucking genius.
They Live.
Absolutely genius.
But
They Live is a horrible movie. They Live is like, look, They Live is it's become a phenomenon because of the message.
Yeah, was very prescient.
The message. The film itself, come on.
Disagree.
It's unwatchable crap.
Dude, the fight scene.
I don't give a fuck. Come on.
Dude, Keith David and Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now, mind you, I put that on Carpenter's middle shelf. Top shelf.
It's ironically awesome. Okay. There's a difference.
Well, it's a
ironically
comedy.
Awesome, and the message of it has been, dude, it's been latched onto by conspiracy theory. Like it is the premier conspiracy.
It was the Reagan
theorist.
era.
Like,
it was the Reagan era.
Seeing through the facade of reality and all that, but it's like the movie's bad.
I totally disagree.
I'm not saying you can't have fun watching it. To say it's a good film,
if it entertains you, it's a good film. If it bores you,
is that an accurate statement?
I think so. See, I've got this thing. When people say it's so bad it's good, I think what they're saying is that it's good. I think the intention of the artist is completely irrelevant. I think that if Tommy Wiseau had made The Room on purpose to be the way it is, he would be a genius.
I agree with that.
He would be a genius. That would be like one of the best, like, practical jokes ever. And yeah, genius. Which
my girlfriend got me this.
Edit
Right
sober.
drunk, edit sober.
I could agree with that. You know, mornings are always a good time to edit what you wrote the night before, and sort the wheat from the chaff, as it were. But you see, that's the thing. You never know what people are going to connect with. And when The Thing came out, which I think is his masterpiece,
Brilliant.
He thinks so too. It was a critical and financial disaster.
Yeah, right.
It hurt his career in a very major way.
Yeah.
And in some ways, he never recovered from it.
Right.
And yet, you know, same thing with Blade Runner, critical and financial bomb. But we look at these films now, and you know, I can honestly say when I first saw them, I thought like, but you know, instant classic for both of those.
Yeah.
Instant classic. But you know, sometimes people, they won't check a film out because it has a bad reputation. Like, oh well, this did shit at the box office, I'm not going to watch it. Or you know, a certain all the critics say that it's garbage. Don't bother checking it out. Yeah. That's what word of mouth is for.
That's what, you know, the thing about CG and the people who are in CG and supporting it and part of it. I think these are people that don't give a damn about what mainstream says about anything. They're seekers.
But anything.
They're trying to find that gem out there that is everybody else says is garbage, and they're like, no, this is the holy grail of awesome. You know, and I really appreciate that about CG. I think it's made up of a lot of seekers.
I think so too.
Sure.
And you know, when I was a kid, what drew me to horror was, you know, part of being a horror fan was sitting through a lot of crap to find that one gem, that one emerald, right?
Right.
And sometimes you would even find those emeralds in otherwise bad movies. It could even just be a moment. It could just be a scene that made you just go, you know, and it just like took your breath away. And you know, so that's what I love about the cult film community. Is like that too. You know, it's all about like, oh, you got to check this out.
Well, this is an interesting question. So, speaking to the horror genre, what do you feel about this Fessenden? Do you know this Fessenden?
Oh, Larry Fessenden?
Yeah. How he's become like, it's almost like he's the Stan Lee of horror. Like having Fessenden show up in your horror film
movie, I know. Look,
he's like the Stan Lee. And this guy does some great films. Dude, what was it?
He does, I wouldn't say he
Habit was an incredible vampire movie.
It was very good. Especially when you consider, you know, what he was working with. Yeah.
But he's become kind of like having this guy show up in your horror movie is kind of his thing now.
Well, he's an actor too. He appeared.
He's not bad. He actually isn't bad.
No, he Jodie Foster guns him down in Cold Blood and The Brave One. You know, because with that big front tooth, he's good at looking like a scumbag. You know, he's good at playing those weird characters.
Hollywood legend with fucked up teeth, and I kind of love the guy.
Well, he's not really a Hollywood legend. He's not a Hollywood legend. He never went to Hollywood. He's a New York.
He's a fan legend.
Yeah,
he's a fan legend.
That's the thing. He's basically like the New York's equivalent of George Romero, because George Romero I wouldn't say George Romero never left Pittsburgh, but he rarely left Pittsburgh. He did, you know, go to Hollywood and do some work for The Man, and there's nothing wrong with that. You look at David Cronenberg; all of his mainstream movies are still David Cronenberg movies, right? Like The Dead Zone, The Fly, right? Those are still Cronenberg movies to the bone. You could say that about those about George Romero's movies too, but Fessenden's movies have never brought in enough money where like they're going to come knocking on his door.
No, maybe not. He amuses me every time I see his name. I'm like, I'll check that out just because this guy is he interests me. He's funny.
Oh, and Nick D'Amici, who he works with a lot, and oh God, why am I suddenly blanking on his name? The guy who did Stakeland and the Hap and Leonard TV series. I'm like totally blanking on that, but which I have a tendency to do. Excuse me.
Yes, that was beautiful, dude.
Woo!
I love it.
Excuse me.
Let's see a little gorilla. Oh. Dude, that gorilla is a majestic. Look at it.
Have you seen the one that walks around on its hind legs?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, they're stunning. And chimpanzees will mess you up. And gorillas are like 3 or 4 times the size of a chimp.
Yeah.
If they wanted to hurt you, they could hurt you very, very badly. That's why I had to have a saloon brawl scene in the book.
That sounds fantastic.
Dude. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy that, methinks. I should just maybe I should discuss my tiers really quickly. I mean, you're the host, so I shouldn't be bossing you around on your own show. But I should let people know.
No, man, dude, boss me around. I like, maybe I like that.
Okay.
Do you ever think of that?
Oh no, it didn't occur to me.
I don't like it.
I don't like
that.
But
do you want to, dude? When it comes to sharing tiers, it's almost like being in control of the remote control. Like I feel like you should be able to scroll and do your thing. Do you want to share? Do you want to bring it up and share your screen?
Let me see. Let me make sure I don't have any pornography open.
I don't even know if I know how to share. How do I?
Oh, you're new at this too, huh?
Here, I'm fairly new to it, but I don't know how to share your screen.
Let me see.
I know how to share my screen.
Share screen. Share your screen, your entire screen, your application window, your Chrome tab. I'll be like, okay. Why is this not? Oh, share audio. Well, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Did you have that?
There it is.
There's a button probably that popped up, right?
Oh, dude, I can click it. That was tough. I love StreamYard. These guys are geniuses, man.
I know.
Do you know these guys basically beat Google?
I know, it's awesome.
StreamYard, Google Hangouts was trying to be like some kind of, and it was so janky, so worthless. These guys stepped in and just like kicked Google's ass. If anybody thinks you can't do that,
it's beautiful.
These guys are proof positive that you.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I haven't done a stream yet. I'm gonna do a stream soon. That's gonna be called CG Monster Party, where I'm gonna have on all of the creators of CG books that are monster oriented, and we're gonna get together and we're gonna talk monsters. But I was dicking around with it today with StreamYard today. I was like, oh crap, this is actually pretty easy. I think I could do this.
You can do this.
Ease of use.
Absolutely do it.
Ease of use is what it's all about. That's what made the internet what it is.
Maybe not initially, but now,
absolutely. Once computers stopped being scary, once they had every PC working like a Mac.
What? That's backwards.
Oh yeah, that is, isn't it?
The Mac is super annoying, dude.
Yeah, I've heard the new ones are a real pain in the ass. Okay, so when I click on this, are you getting my screen?
I'm looking. I can see your screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good to go, man.
Okay, because I can't like kind of like check myself at the same time. Okay.
No, you're rocking.
Okay, so if you if you're new to Six Gun Gorilla, you can get the original trade paperback. That is the first 6 issues of the book for $35. It's the same. It's the same 148 pages. I give you your dollar's worth, and this is with a brand new cover by Kanan White.
Yes.
Tell me that ain't sweet.
So beautiful, dude.
And I'm happy to say that when he saw the colors, he was very, very, very happy with this, and that's very important.
How could he not be, dude? It's so fucking poppin' fresh,
isn't it? That's Derek Dow. The man is an absolute freaking genius. I'm telling you.
He's gonna get a lot of CG work, dude.
Oh, I hope so.
No doubt about it.
He absolutely deserves it. And it's important to me that the artist be happy. If they're not happy with how things turn out, that's
dude,
not
an
ideal
not happy.
Situation.
You either have to pay them more money or give them more drugs.
Yes,
it's only options.
Help them dump more dead hookers. So if you want that, you can grab that. That's the best place to start. Then we've got the Big Gun Down, which is the latest chapter in the Six Gun Gorilla saga. The graphic novel, which is called Long Days of Vengeance. You can get that, like I said, $35. It's issues 1 through 6. The Big Gun Down is issue number 7. It's 24 pages, $15. I guarantee you, if you liked the first one, if you liked the first 6 issues, you're going to especially love this one, because this is where shit goes down. This is where the carnage really starts to ensue. Now, if you buy them both, I knock $5 off the price. So that's the featured perk, is Six Gun Gorilla,
Nice,
Long Days of Vengeance, which is, like I said, issues 1 through 6, plus Six Gun Gorilla, The Big Gun Down, which is issue number 7. Buy them together, and I knock $5 off. It's like the McDonald's menu. I just have three tiers right now. Very, very, very simple. I am going to be adding some other stuff, for sure. Some other tiers, some cool perks. You know what I mean? Maybe some original art. Maybe I'm thinking there's all kinds of things I'm thinking about doing. What I would really love to do would be to mass produce these.
Oh shit! No, what?
Yeah. Six Gun Gorilla. This is the prototype for the Six Gun Gorilla action figure. He doesn't.
Damn, dude.
He doesn't have his guns.
Hold on.
At the moment.
How do I just show your screen?
There's got to be a button for that. Or do I need?
There is.
Or do I need to hit it?
There we go.
Dude, tell me that ain't badass.
Dude,
I don't have his guns.
I love that shit.
It's a big conversation starter on. Dude,
I love it, man.
At conventions.
That is actually seriously cool.
Thanks, man.
Nice, dude.
So
I gotta tell you, your latest campaign page is just a lean, mean fighting machine, dude.
I'm trying. I
know. I think your campaign page made it into a video I made about campaign pages.
No kidding.
And it was like, you had on the one before this, you had a lot of text up at the front.
Yep.
And it took a while to get to the art, and it's like, dude, your campaign page for this is just like bam, bam, bam. It's so succinct, streamlined. It's sexy as hell. I love
it. and do you know why? Because I listen. What? I listened. I listened to you. I listened to my fellow comic skaters, because look, we're all trying to figure this out at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's the old Ray Bradbury maxim: jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down.
Gotta do it.
So we learn from each other's successes, but we also learn from each other's mistakes. And every campaign, should be a little better.
Exactly.
I was talking to Kami Mark yesterday, who's a real character. You should have him on.
Mark.
Love
Dude, he asked me to get on, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was debating because I'm like, I don't know that
you're gonna have a fun time with him.
Well, I have a weird thing, like if I'm not gonna back the book, if it hasn't compelled me to back it,
right?
I don't feel like it's right for me to have someone on where I'm not.
That's an interesting perspective. Interesting perspective.
It's like I just feel like if I don't have the enthusiasm for me with who I am to back this, is it right for me to bring them on and hype? I totally see. The thing is that I didn't just ignore. Like I didn't ignore him. I actually I talked to him, and he respected the fact that I was like honest about that. But I gotta tell you, man, it's starting to win me over. Like I'm seeing it on other shit, and it's like it started. The humor of it is starting to. I'm actually starting to go like, maybe I do like this book.
It looks funny as shit.
Maybe it's fucking funny.
It is. It is. From what I've seen, it's freaking hilarious. And Kami Mark is such a creative guy that not only did he create a work of art, with his book. Which is what we're all trying to do. He actually turned the Indiegogo campaign into a work of art. I mean, 5 people have sent him $14 so that they can watch him burn copies of the comic. What the?
I gotta say, it's like it's starting to win me over. I'm starting to be like, maybe I need to just bite the bullet.
And you're going to have fun. You're going to have fun. Kami Mark is a funny dude. That's one of the things about Comicsgate, man. We have got some freaking characters, right? Who is Cecil? He was the mascot of CG for the longest time. Now he's one of its top creators, right? And everybody loves Cecil because he's good-natured. He's there's a sweetness and a kindness to him. And he's just such a character. Wanger is like a major character. Kami Mark too, man. I'm telling you, is just a funny guy. He just has a great sense of humor.
I'm in the process of reevaluating that. I don't know. I feel like an obligation. My channel's still small and all that, but I feel like if I haven't backed a book personally. Every single person I've had on this channel, I have given money to their campaign. I believe in their project. And I think I feel like it's an important component.
Because you're basically, by having creators on your channel, you are endorsing their work.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I feel like if I'm not willing to do that, I shouldn't have it would be false for me. But
here's the thing. What is Comicsgate really about? Why are so many creators clicking with people? Why are so many YouTubers clicking with people? It's because we're not fake motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not fake.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
To it. Exactly.
Right? And
exactly.
And so maybe if you have him on and you say exactly what you just said to me and to the fine people who are watching.
Right. I'm not backing your book.
Or I'm thinking about it.
You communist motherfucker. I'm not backing your shit.
You've almost won me over. Let's hear your pitch.
It's almost there. I'm almost a communist, but you got to give me more.
Here's the thing. Kami Mark is a commie. For real, right? He's a Marxist. I've studied Marx, and I'm not a Marxist because while I agree with his analysis of capitalism, I think nobody's been able to fuck with it. Nobody's been able to debunk it. That's 100%. It's his solutions where I'm just like, okay, you just lost me, brother.
Yeah, and well, the implementation to date has ended
because that's not real communism.
Badly.
Yeah, because it's not real.
Well, that's what they always say.
It's true.
Like, well, it hasn't really been implemented. I'm like, okay, so you're willing to risk another genocide to try it again?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Well, it's not. I still don't. I don't put them on the same level as like National Socialists. Look, so many of the communist countries. China is communist the way that the National Socialist Party in Germany were socialists. Do you know what I'm saying? It's in name only. Even even in Spain, where you had the fascists. Spain was not a fascist country. The fascists were not fascists. They were totalitarians. Do you know what I'm saying? There's only ever. That's why when I hear people throwing around this term fascist so much these days, I'm like, sit the fuck down, read a book. And
so fucking boring, dude.
Read a book and you'll discover there were only 2 fascist governments in all of history. And that was, of course, Nazi Germany and fascist France, Mussolini. That's it.
I was just saying 3 rainstorms ago. Is that all you got? Well, yeah, a little bit more for me.
You're great at knocking a brother off balance. But seriously, I think you should have Kami Mark on. It doesn't mean that you're endorsing his political views.
I get that. I'm getting there. It's like
we're all about diversity of opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I'm getting to this. I need to understand that if I'm creating a platform, it doesn't always mean a direct endorsement having somebody on. It just means we're talking, we're engaging.
The SJWs
and I need to understand that.
Exactly. The SJWs are all about deplatforming. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they cannot throw down in a debate. I've never seen a SJW who can throw down in a debate. That's why they will not debate you.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in that the best way to fight bad speech is with more speech, is with smart speech, is with good speech. Because these people, a lot of the people that they hate, it's like, God, if they had like half a brain, they could just dismantle somebody like Richard Spencer. But no, instead they deplatforming. Well, like, really? It's like you're gonna stick a sock in somebody's mouth. They don't believe in free speech, and here I go off on my SJW rant, and they like art, they enjoy art just like virtually everybody does, but they don't fucking trust it. They don't trust its power to move. To give people, convey ideas. That's why they're so much about controlling it. They want to create their own art, something like Steven Universe, for instance. God bless them. But don't come in to my head. Don't tell me like what I should and shouldn't write. Because the most pernicious thing about their form of censorship is they get authors to censor themselves. And that's, to me, a huge tragedy. And you know what? I refuse. I refused back in the days when political correctness was a thing, and I stand up for it's Voltaire's old saying. I disagree with what you say, but I defend unto death your right to say it. I wish.
How dare you?
I wish, seriously, every SJW, I just wish I had like, I don't know. I wish I had that printed on like a pair of like brass knuckles or something. Just boom, hit him in the forehead.
Oh man,
it's terrible. Dude. It's terrible. Let people do their thing. And God, everybody knows what a hot mess friggin' Marvel and DC are these days. And DC is likely going to disappear this year because what's their solution to try to save themselves? Going more SJW. They got Zoe Quinn writing. Zoe Quinn killed Vertigo. In addition to the guy that she killed Vertigo, that venerable old imprint. And
it's not gonna. DC isn't going anywhere.
You don't think
they're
so?
They're not going to let that happen. No, they're not going to let that happen.
They've been issued an ultimatum. You heard about that, right?
That would be a victory in the wrong direction for.
Oh, it would be a huge victory for SJWs.
Yeah, they're not gonna let that happen. They're just gonna bite the bullet. These companies absorb losses all the time just to prove a point.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
All the time.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this. But here's the thing: Marvel is owned by the Mouse. The Mouse has bottomless fucking pockets. AT&T is in bad, severe debt.
Well, you have a point there, my friend.
So I think what Ethan was saying was that, and of course he's somebody that worked in the industry, knew Dan Tadeo. He's thinking that some suit was like, checking the books and was like, why are we paying this guy $3 million a year? For what? For a tax write-off? Fuck that. So what I'm thinking is going to happen, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I pray I'm wrong. Is that Marvel and DC Comics will cease to exist, and they're just going to lease their characters out to other publishers. I hope it doesn't. DC's been around for 80 years. I'd hate, to think that an American institution like that is going to be one of like the bloody scalps that the SJWs are going to be able to put up on their lodge pole. Right? Because it's just like, okay, well, they're collecting scalps all the time. They've destroyed so many people, wiped them off the face of the earth. But an entire industry?
I'm curious, like, why is this happening? Why is there such now a conflict between old and new ideas? Like, why is this?
These aren't new ideas.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, Hollywood, the mainstream Hollywood has always been pushing. They're always been at the forefront of pushing the new way of thinking for the next generation. They've always been doing that.
I agree.
So what makes now? I feel like all of these companies, all of the Hollywood
I'll tell you exactly
studios,
what it is.
I feel like they're producing the exact movies that they were told, that they were informed would be accepted by the current. So why isn't it working? Why is there this?
It's because they're putting the cart before the donkey. That's why. Because if you look at, horror movies as a genre are very often very political. Mm-hmm. But any political message you might get out of Night of the Living Dead, for instance, that's secondary to it being a balls-out horror movie. Right? For them, the message comes first. And they're not subtle about it either.
So they've lost the art of subtlety.
Yes. And SJWs, when you have to give the SJWs this, they weaponized Twitter. And they weaponized it in a very incredibly effective way where they could just destroy people's lives and make CEOs piss in their boots. And so everybody's being very, very, very careful. They gave Marvel, it's the weirdest thing. I actually want to do a video on this. A few years ago, I wrote an essay about like what to do about like this was just at the beginning of the encroachment of the SJWs, right? I was like, these people are they're not part of the fandom. So what they should do is ignore them. Tell them to fuck off. You're not part of the fandom. You're not buying our products. Go straight to hell. Or you could, capitulate completely and just hire SJWs to write your comics. And I said this sarcastically, and they went and they fucking did it. And I never published this thing. I never tried to, because first of all, once I finished it, I wrote it more for myself because I was thinking, nobody's going to publish this. And I'm going to do a video on it, and I do have it.
You should.
I do have it like the save date and everything, but people are going to have to, I guess maybe have to take my word for it. But I kid you not, man. Oh, fuck. They went and did like what I was suggesting, like sarcastically. They went and just started getting writers off of Twitter. And here's the thing about comic books. It's an incredibly difficult medium to write in. It is. Yeah. Everybody that I know of, from Harlan Ellison, I'm trying to think of some other people, the screenwriter Sam Hamm, anybody that's like been writing in other mediums, be it fiction, prose fiction, novels, or screenplays, when they go to do a comic book, they will all tell you it's the most difficult thing that they've ever done. And that's because it's the most unnatural medium in which to tell a story as a writer, because you're telling the story in snapshots. And once you get the hang of that, it gets much easier. But holy crap, I had to write at least about like 15 comic scripts before I started to feel like, okay, I think I've got this. It's very, very difficult. So I think that as people will say, go woke, get woke, go broke. You have to understand with something like Birds of Prey, which recently came out and was such a complete clusterfuck. It takes about 3 movies. Dude. It takes about 3. Yeah.
I tried to watch, man.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it. It's unwatchable.
I managed to kind of get all the way through Suicide Squad. It was shit, but I managed to I could make it.
Suicide Squad doesn't compare. Suicide Squad is a masterpiece compared.
See, now you're making me curious. Man. Oh man. Right off the bat, you can't recognize any of the characters.
It's like women, what I don't understand is like women should be pissed off.
Yes.
Birds of Prey, if this movie is what is supposed to represent women should be pissed.
I agree. And
because
you know what?
It's detestably awful. In every sense of the word, it is unwatchable garbage. And if I was a woman, I'd be like, this doesn't, how can this represent me?
Send this back to the chef.
It's so fucking shit.
You would send it back to the chef. You'd be like, I can't eat this shit. Send it back to the chef.
Dude.
Yeah, and they buy into the way that the studios manipulate social media, where like, this is a feminist thing, and if it bombs, misogyny is what's responsible. And they believe it, and I see it. Female friends of mine fall for this shit, and I warn them, like, watch, if it bombs, misogyny.
Just watch it for yourself. Oh, women, I challenge every woman out there to go and watch Birds of Prey. Watch it for yourself and ask yourself, is this is this representation for me as a woman? I challenge every woman to watch it. And if you are happy with that representation, I mean, it's abysmal. Fuck.
Well,
it's abysmal.
Think about this too. Think about this. What nearly killed the comic book industry in the 90s was you had all these people that were buying comics as an investment. The speculator bubble, right? And so they started making the comics specifically for the speculators. What about the old fans? Fuck the old fans. That's what Marvel said. And so they're coming out with all these foil covers and all this shit. And they were selling 2 million copies of a particular book. That didn't mean that there were 2 million readers. So what did they do?
Hurtful.
They lost all of their old fans. We all went, bye, see ya. And the speculators went, ooh, action figures.
Right.
And the bottom dropped out from under the industry. Marvel went into fucking bankruptcy. And, it was so bad that a lot of people were saying this could be the end of American comics. And what's going on now, is 100 times worse. That's because they've gotten rid of the old fans, and the people that they're making the comics for don't read comics. They don't read comics.
And the thing is, the problem is persisting because even to this day, there's this notion about comics being collectible investment type. Well, I'm buying a comic so I can sell it for more later. Like it's what? No. A comic book is just like a movie. It's just like anything. You buy it because you want to
read the damn thing.
The art, the story, the thing. It's not about being an investment. It's not a collectible. It's a beautiful storytelling piece of art. Mm-hmm. Stop looking at it as a collectible investment. It's not what this was meant to be. The moment that comics labeled themselves as being collectible investments, that was a problem. That hurt. Now, I know they made a lot of money on that in the short term. Yeah. But it is still, to this day, hurting comic books.
Yeah. They basically killed the goose that laid the golden egg. They got greedy. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It's like, that's corporate thinking. We want everything and we want it now. Rather than, they play the short game. Corporate America plays the short game, not the long game. Right. And, these SJWs, they don't support the things that they demand. I mean, I remember when it all started when the Avengers movie came out. That's because they were like, you know what? We can't take over the movies, but we can take over the comic books. And they did. Once again. Yeah,
they did.
Like, I don't know if we should give them a little a begrudging salute, like you would to your victorious enemy. Okay, I gotta hand it to you. You did it.
Gotta hand it to you. Yeah.
Right.
But it's on.
Is it because of the spinelessness of the comic book industry that they gave these people an inch and then, of course, they took a mile?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's bigger. I mean, admittedly, I'm a little bit conspiratorial, so
that's okay.
In the big picture of things, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense in that context because everything. Do you think it's coincidental that gaming, comic books, film, everything went SJW, basically all about the same,
I know.
Do you think that's not, that's a top-down credo?
I think...
And and they're not making money. People aren't happy with it. but they're pushing it anyway.
Well, think about this. This is very important. This is very important to consider, right? It takes about 3 years to make a movie, anywhere from 3 to 5 years to make a movie. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years to make a AAA game. Right? So that's what we're seeing. Even at I think we're seeing the tail end. We're seeing all the crap that they started making three years ago because they were like, oh, we got to go social justice or we're dead. Yeah. They're going to kill us on Twitter. They're going to kill us on Twitter.
This is what's going to be big here. So we're making this. And then for some reason,
3 years later,
didn't happen. It didn't happen. I think this is a big clusterfuck for mainstream.
It is.
And I think they're not they're very accustomed to everything going according to plan. This did not go according to plan. And now they're like,
oh God,
what do we do?
That's the same thing with Trump when he got elected. It was just like, oh, this was a part of the plan, right? Now the ruling class in this country, they still don't like his face, but he's been good to them. Get him lots of tax breaks and shit. I think that that Hollywood only sees one color, okay, and that's green. That's always been their agenda. We also know that the CIA, and this is just a fact, this is not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact, the CIA has direct involvement in the production of big mainstream films. So don't think that those fucking Marvel movies aren't carefully curated by the CIA. They are.
Dude, I love you for saying that. Thank you.
It's true. It should be obvious, And that's why, people are turning to alternative media. People are turning to to indie creators because you know what? We ain't been bought yet. Right? Yes. Oh, I like to think that my soul is not for sale, but I can't say if the mouse came along and started waving money under my nose, I wouldn't at least be tempted.
Everyone.
Social justice. Social justice, good. Okay, all right.
Oh my God, that voice, dude.
I'll get
do that again.
What?
Social justice,
good. If they want me to put on a dress and a wig and some makeup and everything like that, it's insane. It's insane. Somebody like me.
Oh, boom. Gone. Conspiracy. Brian Christgau just got popped out of this live stream. Have no idea why. Have no idea how. And we're at that point where I probably just want to end the stream. But I feel weird because he dropped out. Should I wait for him to come back in and be like, so we can say proper goodbyes? I don't know. We'll give him a few moments. There he is.
Sorry about it.
What happened?
This is what happens when I get all worked up.
Are you just so emotional and fucked up that you clicked the wrong button?
Yeah, I did. And I
damn it! I was hoping to blame this on the conspiracy theory.
Look, man,
you ruined it.
We're what, a month and a half or 2.5 months into 2020, and Comicsgate is already killing it. Dude, killing it.
Stomping.
Like Godzilla in Tokyo, man. And once the comic book industry starts to perceive us as a threat, they're going to come for us, and they're going to come hard. They're going to call us all manner of vile things. You name it.
You do realize that you just said, come hard.
Yes, I did.
Uh-oh.
Come hard or not? Not at all, man. They're going to be.
Oh shit!
I'm telling you,
War
man.
campaign.
They're gonna.
Why aren't I on your show?
Oh man, I have a feeling you're getting Cecil levels drunk over there. I worry.
I'm completely fucked up right now. I'm
No
so
worries.
fucked up.
No worries. Look,
I love your book.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I really do. I really do appreciate it. And
even though I haven't received it yet,
it's on its way, brother. I swear. I promise.
I'm gonna talk to you in a really low voice.
All right.
Because I really want my 6-gun gorilla. I want it to fulfill me. I want it to fill all the empty spots.
It will leave all of your orifices feeling fulfilled.
Okay.
You know what? I actually still have a couple of books to ship now that I think about it, but those are going to like New Zealand.
Yes.
Right. So, but domestically, I think I pretty much have everybody covered. If there is anybody out there, you haven't gotten your book yet, shoot me an email or something. Also, people, if you're not happy with your order, if the book arrives scuffed or something like that, let me know. You know, I will take care of that situation. I will shoot you a new one. I am all about, like, that's another thing that's great about Comicsgate. We're all about the customer.
Yes.
And all about making sure that you're happy.
Yes.
And we care whether or not you read our books. Because what are we without our backers? Nothing. Nothing without our backers. You are literally making our dreams come true. You're literally letting us, make some money and maybe enough to go on to keep creating. I like you were saying, I still think that 6-Gun has the potential to be one of if not one of the top tier books, at least one of the middle tier books. And always thought I think this could be like one of the flagship books for Comicsgate. But
I'm going to say right now,
yes,
I think this campaign somehow, in some colossal weird thing, is going to happen, and you're going to hit 30K.
We shall see.
You're going to join the 30K club because, dude, you deserve it, man.
Deserve's got nothing to do with it, as Clint Eastwood said in Unforgiven. But
that's true,
right?
Oh, one thing.
Yes,
because of the CG Rorschach test,
yes,
and the spaghetti stare.
Yes.
Before we, I think this is absolutely fitting. And I'm gonna hold on a sec. Let me get you here. I want to get you on full screen. Give me. Look at that sexy beast, folks. Going back, 6-Gun Gorilla. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy is a genius. He's brought you a spaghetti western, absolute phenomenal piece of work. The art is amazing. What are you doing? But what I want you to do, Brian,
yes,
is give us the ultimate spaghetti stare.
Oh God!
I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot. I want you to give us the spaghetti stare. Yes. Yes.
I was going for a Charles Bronson and Once Upon a Time in the West kind of a thing there, but
dude.
And that's in the comic too. You're gonna see shots like that.
I love it, dude. And I don't know, is the term spaghetti stare, does that exist?
I don't think so. Not
or have I just?
I think you just created it. I think I've read at least 2 or 3 books about the genre, big thick books about the genre, and I believe that the actual term spaghetti stare is not a part of the vocabulary.
I have, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing
a
the creation of the spaghetti stare. Brian Christgau has given us the first absolute version of the spaghetti stare. So, history in the making. Please go back this book. Six Gun Gorilla is an absolutely phenomenal creation. I am really proud to have you on this channel, man.
Thank you, brother. I'm proud to be on your channel. Can I just give a couple of shout outs real quick before you split?
Shout it out.
Okay. Big shout out to my man, Preston Acevedo. He has a campaign that's just about to close up called Rockabilly Road Trip. Check that out. The campaign page for that is fire. The art is fire. The trailers are fire. Also, check out my man Drew Eash and his page, his book Captain Love. You're gonna enjoy the heck out of that. It's good old fashioned space opera with a heart, with some pathos. Everybody who reads that seems to get a big kick out of it too. So go check those guys out and support their campaigns. Back indie comics, damn it.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Please like, subscribe to the channel. And I do have a contest going. If you subscribe to the channel, and in the description, I have a link to a Twitter post. If you just tweet like why you think you deserve it, I will be sending you a hardcover edition of Narwhal's Foreign Agent.
Ooh.
And
that book is
hot
that. Like salsa picante, man.
Narwhal is so good.
He is.
But also, Brian Christgau is a champion. Thank you for being here. We had a good time.
Peace, love, and soul, everybody. Peace, love, and soul.